Italy is on course to cementing a historic election result, electing its most right-wing government since World War II and likely its first ever female prime minister. Giorgia Meloni declared victory earlier today and pledged to be a unifying force for the country.
Quindi è importante capire che se saremo chiamati a governare questa nazione lo faremo per tutti. Lo faremo per tutti gli italiani, lo faremo con l'obiettivo di unire questo popolo, di esaltare quello che lo unisce piuttosto che quello che lo divide.
Almost all the votes have been counted and point to a win for Meloni's far-right Brothers of Italy party with over 26% of the vote. She will lead a conservative coalition, partnering with Matteo Salvini's anti-immigration lead and Silvio Berlusconi's Forza Italia. Both are major players in the country's right-wing politics. Overall, voter turnout fell to a record low of around 63%, 9 points down from 2018. The alliance campaigned on a program of low taxes, immigration crackdown, EU reform and support for Ukraine. Italy has dealt with years of political shifts and infighting, seeing 70 government changes in 77 years. But League leader Salvini assured the public that the right-wing group will give the country 5 years of political stability. Well, let's go to Seema Gupta. She joins us live from Rome. That's an interesting statement that he made there, Seema. Giorgia Meloni's Conservative Alliance also promising that period of relative stability. It's been an elusive commodity. How is she going to achieve it when others have failed?
Well, I think maybe part of the difference this time round is that the coalition as a whole has won some 44% of the vote. And so they have a majority in both houses of parliament, in the Senate and in the lower house. And she says she views this as a clear mandate to govern. The voters some of them may not necessarily agree with some of the right-wing extreme views that her party has had in the past, but they clearly agreed with her softening stance in presenting this moderate image that she did during the campaign. And many Italians may just feel that they want something fresh, something new, and which is why, in the end, she seems to have gotten the support, and particularly her coalition. There is concern, however, among others that this coalition government, particularly her party, doesn't really have the experience or the expertise to government. Let's not forget, back in the last election, she only got 4% of the vote, really. So it's a massive jump for her. There's also concern at the European level about what it is that she's going to bring forth. There's concern about civil liberties, gay rights, as well as abortion rights. We've already heard from the French Prime Minister saying that they will be monitoring human rights issues very closely and access to abortion in Italy. But as expected, we've seen a positive response to Ms. Meloni's win, if you like. Nationalist parties in Hungary and in Poland calling it a good step forward. And of course, the far-right parties in France, in Germany and in Spain, all congratulating her on this win. So she believes that they can go forward. But you're right, Italy does have a tendency to have unstable coalitions. We'll have to see how this one is going to work together.
Indeed, there have been reports already of rivalry among the three right-wing leaders. Do you think they will be able to take that unified approach to a daunting list of challenges ahead?
Yes, indeed. I mean, there are these stories of rivalries. Let's not forget, as I mentioned, Giorgia Meloni moving from 4% to 25%. And Mr. Salvini, in that election back in 2018, had a very strong showing and became the interior minister as a result. And this time round, his percentage of the vote has almost halved, really. So it remains to be seen whether he will be able to handle the rise of someone like Meloni. Will he be able to support her? He says he will, but we'll have to see how that pans out. Then on several issues, there are already differences, particularly on Ukraine. Ms. Meloni has been very staunch in her support of Ukraine. She is pro-NATO, pro the idea of supplying arms to the Ukrainians, but both are coalition partners, Salvini as well as Mr. Berlusconi, the former prime minister. We know that they have had close ties with Russia and the Russian leader, Vladimir Putin. In fact, Mr. Salvini himself saying he doesn't think sanctions are actually working and they're actually detrimental to Italians. So that's already a point of contention. We could see some issues there. Perhaps he may want to be an interior minister in this next cabinet, and whether or not Ms. Meloni will agree to that. So there are a couple of issues, but for the moment, they're presenting a united front. We'll have to see what happens when a government will eventually be formed, and that we expect to happen late October, early November.
Reporting live from Rome, Seema Gupta, thank you.